Thomas here with Much Props, going to give you another how-to video. This is the first build of 2025, and as I start to think about what I want for my channel this year, I can't help but think about where I've come from. So a lot of you may not realize this, but I actually got my start on YouTube as a sponsored video maker. A company called Polyplastics hired me to promote their thermoplastic, and I made about 6 months worth of videos for them before I finally switched over and made my own channel. So I thought it would be fun to build the thing that got me started on YouTube, which is a dragon claw key from the video game Skyrim. It's fairly simple in terms of its shape, I guess. It's a claw, but I've chunked it into a couple of basic shapes that should make it pretty easy, and I'm going to use some big, thick EVA foam to carve out of. So without further ado, today we are making a dragon claw key from Skyrim out of foam. Let's get to building. Roughly 9 years ago, I bought this thermal material from a company called Polyplastic, made the prop that I am making today, and posted a picture of it on my Facebook tagging the company. Little did I know that not only would I get a response, but also a job offer. It was soon after that I started making videos for them for roughly 6 months. This built up my confidence enough that I started making videos for my own channel soon after. I drew up the basic shape of the dragon claw here and included all of the animal sigils. I also looked at which one I wanted to make and wrote down the combination I would need to make it look at least a little accurate to the game. I will include all of this in the free template below the video in the description. I'm going to make the sapphire version of the key, which is silver with blue claws. I traced the bulk of the claw onto some 48mm EVA foam and rough cut out the shapes. The palm of the claw is a top-down view, whereas the fingers are a side view. It is a starting point for the basic shapes before you start carving it in to make it look like the tester finger that I have here. Now you could go crazy with the details and carve out the intricate knotwork that is spread around the claw, but I'm going to keep mine simple this time. Using a box cutter, I remove the edge of my square shape to make it more dimensional on its faces. Then this gets carved again on the corners as well to get it closer to a round shape. Then it's just a matter of rounding over these points so that they're closer to the dragon claw shape and smoothed out. None of this has to be precise, as the claws in the game look fairly rough in terms of construction. I do this same process with all 3 fingers and round over the arm piece as well. In order to transition my claw bits into the pad of the paw, I'm going to glue them up first with contact cement and then carve out the rest. I trace where I want the arm to line up, carve out just a little on the back edge of the hand, then glue the parts together. It may not be obvious, but if you look at the top where the fingers will glue up, I carved a slight slope into the palm where they will tilt the fingers inward and make it look like the fingers are bending more forward. There are 3 animal sigils on the Dragon Claw keys, and depending on which color scheme you want to go with, they will all be different. I went ahead and hand drew all of them to fit within the platform cutout, so if you wanted to make a different one than I am, you at least have the parts already ready for you. You will notice that the platform piece has a highlighted green edge. On my templates, that typically means an outward 45-degree angle cut. Trace the circle onto the 10mm EVA foam, and then inside your line, angle your blade outward as you pierce through. Try your best to keep that angle as you cut around the circle to add a nice taper outward. Repeat this 3 times, then glue them to the palm of the claw. Then the animal symbols are traced onto some 2mm foam and cut out. They get glued onto the top of the platform after I round over the edges. To help hide my seam lines and give a subtle texture to the foam, I'm going to add some Mod Podge to the claw with a chip brush. As the glue starts to set up, I dab the surface with a sponge to add a little bit of bumpiness everywhere. Like I said, this will be subtle with Mod Podge. If you wanted to make it more pronounced, you could use acrylic texture mediums, watered down foam clay, bits of hot glue and random globs, or even carve or burn it into the foam with a rotary tool or a wood burner. Once the Mod Podge is dry, 2 coats of Plastidip. You can see my subtle texture, but more importantly, it's covered up my seams and imperfections so that it looks like it's carved from one solid piece. The texture isn't defined enough to just dry brush over and pick up all of those little bumps, so I'm gonna add my silver rub and buff with a sponge. This will give me more sporadic coverage that I can later lightly blend in by dragging the almost paintless sponge over the top. As the surface dries on the rub and buff, I can hit the surface with brown browns, blacks, and yellows to tarnish the silver and age the prop a bit. Then I can pull back some of the edges with some more silver. The texture I got on my original claw made out of thermoplastic was actually made by pushing a bath towel into the cooling material. The claws of the Sapphire Dragonclaw key are an ultramarine blue. I lay down a couple of coats of this paint, add some white into the mix for the edges, and then add some streaks to make it look like the claws were carved in crystal. The contrast was a little too much, so after everything had dried, I watered down the pure ultramarine color and pulled it back a little bit. My painting process is always adding layers until I get what I want. It's not precise or precious on the application. It's more of a push and pull. The layers always add depth to what you're doing. Once the claws were done, I added a coat of glossy Mod Podge to make them shiny. This brings my build to an end. I think my second iteration of the Dragonclaw key is definitely better than my first go at it, and I can see ways to improve this to get it much closer to the game if I was to attempt it again. Being critical of your own work doesn't mean self-deprecation. It's what constantly pushes you to get better project to project, year after year. Thank you all for coming along this journey with me. And we are finished. Here is the end result. Overall, I think it turned out pretty cool. It's definitely better than my original one that I built, I think 8 or 9 years ago now. But yeah, maybe we'll try and make something like this yourselves and push yourself to do better on something you've already built before. Yeah. Maybe you'll get some... Yay! And inevitably, they're gonna ask you, how'd you make that? You can give them one of these, tell them, much props. Now I just gotta figure out how to open that door. If only there was something to give me a clue as to how to do it. Peace out. If you enjoy what I do here on YouTube and you want to see more builds like this one, please consider joining these awesome people listed here with me over on my Patreon to build a bigger, better, more creative community together.